Hello everyone, welcome to this tutorial for my loud and victorious arrangement of the classic hymn, A Mighty Fortress is Our God. In this tutorial, I'm going to go over any potential trouble spots and offer up some insight into my thinking as the arranger. Normally my arrangements are a little bit more subdued and pretty and meditative, and this is definitely an exception to that. This is one where you get to have a lot of fun, pull out all the stops, make it very loud and celebratory, and put all the energy and all the power that you have into it. While there are spots that are piano dynamic, for the most part, this is a high energy, loud arrangement. And so feel free to give it everything you've got. It's worth it. This theme, A Mighty Fortress is Our God, the lyrics and all of that, just really call for giving it everything you've got. So that's really the thinking behind the arrangement. It's kind of a fanfare type vibe, and I wanted it to be very royal sounding. And all right, so the first challenge then, it comes right at the top, the potential challenge. You've got triplets and regular eighth notes here in measure 2 in the same measure, and that's repeated every other measure. And it sounds like that. Obviously, it's not difficult to play. If you can hear it in your head, it's very simple to play. It's not hard at all, and you're probably wondering why I'm even going over this. But if you're like me, I had a hard time getting triplets and duplets figured out, especially when they're back-to-back like that. And it's not necessarily intuitive, and so I thought I would just offer a little tip if that's you, if you're like me and struggling to get that. What you want to do is you want to find the beat that is the lowest common denominator for the triplets and the eighth notes, which in this case, because the triplets are eighth note triplets, is a quarter note. So set your metronome for a quarter note, keep it slow, not at 132, keep it super slow, maybe at a speed of like this, and then just play that measure. On repeat. You might even mark little lines where those quarter notes land with the metronome. And so then all you have to do visually is just make sure you're hitting those notes when the metronome strikes the next beat, you're landing at the right spot. And then if you want to zoom in even more, you might just take like beats 2 and 3 in that measure and repeat those. And then speed it up. I'll take the whole measure. And then once you get it up to tempo, then you can put it all together. And then the next measure after that, measure 3, you've got your left hand coming up into the territory of your right hand. And you should, after playing it once, realize that they don't get in the way. They are supposed to be mashed up like this. If you watch the demo video, you'll see how I do that. It's actually a lot of fun. Okay, so continuing on, just an interpretive suggestion, an idea. Creative idea, you don't have to do it. I obviously didn't put it in the notation, but just a little nugget. I really enjoy when the lyrics come in, when the actual melody of the hymn comes in at measure 11, all the way up to measure 14. I like to hold the pedal for that whole time because you've got a C note that's consistent in your left hand, and it's already naturally kind of keeping that consistent sound and dissonance. And if you just add the pedal, it kind of fills the sound out. And then let up the pedal. If you, it's kind of cool. It depends on the piano. Try it out. See if you like it. I do the same thing in the next phrase. What is it? Measure 17 through 20. Just an idea. When you get to measure 23, you have a sharp, or the pickup to measure 23, you have a sharp dynamic change We're going from all this high energy, powerful stuff to a piano dynamic. And my encouragement is an easy one. Know that it's coming, look ahead, be prepared for it as a pianist. Don't let it surprise you. The dramatic contrast of going from that loud to a soft is, turning the car around 180 degrees super fast is really effective if you are prepared for it and you play it as such. So. It has almost a theatrical kind of drama to it, and that's very intentional. So own it, have fun with it. Don't just go plowing into that at full speed. All right, everything else is pretty self-explanatory on that page. When you get to measure 48, you have these long tied notes, and it's the same section of the verse as verse 1 that I just addressed. It's kind of a pretty dreamy feel change right here. And it's really dependent on you hanging on to those bottom notes in your right hand that are tied. You have whole notes tied together. And when you get to this measure, what is it, 52? It's actually kind of tricky because you're holding on 2 notes. And you don't have enough fingers up here to play those 4 melody notes. So there you need to go. You need to be intentional with your fingering so you can reach all of those notes. I don't think we're used to, it's not super common for us pianists to be holding down one note with our thumb over the course of 2 measures while we're playing melodies on top of it. And so that's just something to notice. It is intentional, and it is, I think, important to the sort of ethereal feel of this part of the song. Then the left hand takes the melody, and as always, I will always just point that out, that the left hand, being in a lower register, those melodies, those notes don't pop out as much. Our ear naturally hears the top note first, and so you have to compensate for that. You play, so like right here, the dynamic is a mezzo forte. You're going to have to compensate a little bit. Your right hand might play a little bit quieter than it normally would in a mezzo forte, and your left hand will play a little bit louder than it normally would in a mezzo forte, especially when your right hand is just this repeated accompanimental figure, like it is here. You don't need that to stand out. You just need it to sit in the back, provide the energy and the harmonic context that it is. That's all that's necessary. Let the melody in your left hand be loud and clear, clearly in the foreground. Okay, then the only other thing that I wanted to mention was at the last verse, you have all these accents. Think of it as like church bells. Dum, bum, bum, bum. Obviously, they won't be playing as fast as this does, but you want them to have a kind of bell quality to them. And so when I'm playing this section, I'm thinking like I'm not slapping the keys. I'm not trying to do anything that's going to build any tension in my hands or make the sound be harsh, but I am giving it like an energy, a pointed energy. I'm bringing those fingers up and I'm even getting the wrist involved. Almost thinking of my hand as like a hammer, hammering nails, to let those notes come out. There's not a lot of thickness here, but the dynamic, as indicated at measure 82, is a fortissimo. And this is the climax of the song, so you want it to have a lot of energy, and the best way I know how to do that is in the physiology of the way you play it. All right, I think that's it. I hope this tutorial has been helpful for you, and I hope you have fun with this one. I know I do. I know I have. I haven't gotten to play this for people yet, like in a performance or a church setting or anything like that, and I hope to have one soon. because this is really a lot of fun to play, and it's very inspiring. So I hope you feel the same way. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next tutorial.